Purpose event. I am Liorah, your host for the event, and I am so excited today to have Ashana as our speaker for today. Hello, Ashana.
Hi, Leona. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate it.
No, thank you. And thank you for being part of this event and sharing with your wisdom with the audience. So for those of you who do not know Ashana, Ashana is one of the premier healing music artists and New Age vocalists of our time, an award-recognized master of crystal singing bowls. Ashana's original sound is credited as a pioneering and entirely new style of healing music with crystal bowls. Her stunningly beautiful recordings are held by listeners all around the world as breathtaking and a gift from heaven. And I can attest to that myself as well, as I've been listening to Ashana for many years. Ashana travels internationally offering concerts, crystalline activation, meditations, retreats and workshops. And also Ashana is a creator of a Crystal Bowl Mastery program in sound healing, where you can learn about playing the alchemy bowls and also apply their healing frequencies in therapeutic settings or for your personal use. So Ashana, could you tell the audience a little bit about your journey into stepping into your soul purpose as a sound healer?
Well, my journey was, I think, organic and accidental. And I like to say to people that how that happened is that even before I realized what I was doing, I was following little divine breadcrumbs. And so I love to share, when I speak to people about following divine purpose and following the call of one's soul, it's sometimes we think of these things as really big events, but actually, in my experience, they're tiny little steps that unfold into this amazingness that for me, it was something that I always dreamt of, but I didn't realize what it was actually going to look like. So, I knew from a very young age that all I wanted to do was sing and sing and sing and sing. I had that yearning. I had that love. I had that inspiration from the time I was just a little girl. I like to tell people that, now there's a big thing where people say, oh, it's teaching people in sound healing, teaching people how to hum. Well, I was humming at 2. I was self-soothing at 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 years old through sound. It just seemed the most natural thing to do. I couldn't understand it when I started reading books about, the power of humming with sound healing. I was like, what's the big deal? I've been doing this since I was a baby. And in some ways, I think most of us do that. Sound healing. But anyway, that's not where we're at right now. We're talking about soul, following your soul. And so what happened is that my soul led me to theater. My soul led me to going to conservatory of music. My soul then led me to teaching music to young children. And that was it was like a really kind of, when you look at it, it goes. I mean, I was singing in New York City in the early music scene at the time, that same time when the Amazon show Mozart in the Jungle, and there was actually a book written called Mozart in the Jungle, which was a biography, a memoir of one of the musicians at that time. Well, that was my time. That's when I was in New York City doing my own Mozart in the Jungle in the early music scene. And then there was going into opera, there was going into jazz and pop music. There was this, I kept just following these breadcrumbs over and over and over and over again. And I found myself living in Santa Fe, teaching early music to young children. And I've been doing that for years and years and years, when one day a friend of mine called me up on the phone and she says, have you ever heard of crystal singing bowls? And I said, no. She said, they are right up your alley. And so immediately, sight unseen, I bought one, just like right there. Came into my house 3 weeks later, And I opened up the box, I pulled out the bowl, I used a mallet very similar to this one. I tapped the side of the bowl, just like that, and immediately I burst into tears. I was like a shower of tears. And this is so embedded in my psyche that every time I tell this story, I relive it. And I have this feeling that light had come to live in my house. It was this awe of that. And then the very next thought that I had was that one day I'm going to put these into music. And I had, even though I was teaching music to young children, I was still singing and performing, and I had a choir, and I was doing soloist workplaces, and I was still recording my own songs and my music. But something happened when those bowls arrived. And it was like, I like to say it as this point when you get to a T in the road, and the universe goes, you're going this way now. Because I had been going this way. And the universe said, my soul said, time for a change. And the change is happening right now. But it was still so subtle. It was still like little divine breadcrumbs. And I looked at that. 3 weeks later, I had 7 bowls. I didn't stop. I was like, just like that. And my team on the etheric was like, wow, she needs them. She's ready now. Boom. Here's the bowls. It was that fast. And now, of course, you can see, well, you can't see behind here a whole wall. This is my other wall of bowls. I live with these are 105 of my own personal instruments now in my room, and there's a whole bunch of them behind these curtains. And this is my life. And it was not just about the bowls. It was about the creation of music with the bowls. And some people just say, "Oh, you're a sound healer." My husband would always go, he says, "You realize you're a healer?" And I'm like, "I'm a musician. What are you talking about?" But he would say, "No, you're doing healing with everything that you're doing." And it took me many, many, many years with all of those divine breadcrumbs to realize that there was this fusion that was happening between music and sound healing. And that's where I've landed now. 25 years of playing these glorious instruments. I have many, many albums out now, many more to come that are coming very soon. And I teach people all over the world the art, the love, and the passion of incorporating crystal singing bowls into their lives for personal, professional, and really transformational soul work. So it's been a real journey, and that's the little girl who was humming, ends up in this beautiful room surrounded by these beautiful beings. So
love it. And I love what you mentioned that you had little breadcrumbs, but you followed them. Sometimes your soul knows where it's taking you, and at times we will say, "No, I have." This is what I'm supposed to do. And you keep going that way and, going against it. But it sounds like you really followed the path that you were being put on and surrendering to the path as well, right? And allowing it to just bring those bowls to you. And this is what I'm getting as well from your experience, which again, I always tell people, follow your soul will send you all the people, the teachers, the tools to take you on your journey. And I love that you followed the path. It sounds like without too much fighting against it, but really surrendering to it, if this is correct.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's interesting. It's like the fighting of my soul's yearning I did in almost like in other areas of my life, where I resisted, but for some reason in the world of music, I was much more, let me just say, resilient and allowing, and then of course, it's a spiritual muscle that we use, and we practice that practice of feeling what we an inspiration, a desire, a yearning that really comes in. And it's the willingness to follow that joy. And that was the hard place for me, because I had a place inside of myself that was very disciplined, very focused, very, you need to do it this way, it needs to look like this, and there was like a rigidity in my thinking, in my consciousness. And it took me a long time to understand to follow my joy, and I think part of that is, is our upbringing and our cultural conditioning. We're taught that, discipline and hard work, and those are really good things. Please don't misunderstand me. I have a lot of both. But that, life is a struggle, and life is hard. And if we shift our focus and our thinking, if we shift our emotional feeling to allowing ourselves to feel the direction where we expand, where we feel an expansion, in balance with the groundedness of discipline, focus, and hard work, because we need them both. When you follow your breadcrumbs, and you get the feeling that it's like this, you actually have to show up and do the work. And sometimes the work is really challenging. Sometimes the work is really about pushing yourself, or not pushing yourself, but staying dedicated enough, persevering enough to go through when it's very uncomfortable, when it's very hard, when you feel like you don't want to do that because it's not easy in the moment. You're exercising new muscles. You're learning new ways of thinking that are outside your own conditioned paradigm of thinking. And that is not always easy. But if you can stay in touch with that joy, if you can stay really tuned in and touched into the, wow, I know it feels hard right now, but I know that if I just stay tuned into that joy and keep breathing into that and keep allowing that into my life, that's the message you're giving to your soul's message is giving to you, and you're giving that message out to the universe. You're radiating that resonance in your vibrational field. And all of a sudden, the help that you need, the support you need, the teachers you need, the guidance you need, and you'll get a teacher, that will say to you, yes, I know this is difficult, but I know you can do it. That's the shift that's taken me, really a long, long time to step into that. And when you have those moments where it's just super challenging, then you can move through it with more grace.
Exactly. Beautifully said. Thank you. And so for the people in the audience who are new to sound healing, can you talk a little bit about what sound healing is, and how can we actually heal through sound?
Well, I think sound, we're all vibrational beings. And for for people that are new to this, that might be like a big, what? I'm vibration? Well, actually, yes, everything in the universe is energy. And all energy is vibrating. And so every part of our being has a quality of vibration. And when we are in a dominant vibration of sadness or struggle or suffering or pain, discomfort, depression, anxiety, frustration, when that becomes our dominant reality, or at least plays a strong part in our lives, our energy just seems to get tighter and tighter and tighter, smaller and smaller, more and more contracted. And it feels like in those situations that our world really shrinks. Our world becomes the size of our suffering. Our world becomes the vortex of our own pain. And so sound healing, within it, when it is being offered by a practitioner or a musical artist, where the energy is one of healing, where it's one of expansion, where it's a sense of, we feel all the artist, the sound healer, is committed to that space of, those higher vibrational qualities of emotion, like joy, like compassion, like wisdom, understanding, tenderness, gentleness, kindness, peace, health, vitality, power. And I'm talking about the power of our self-confidence, the power of our clarity of thought. We think about and feel and tune into those energies. Literally, I mean, if I tell everybody here right now, to just close your eyes for a moment and just take a breath and tune in to something in your life that makes you feel happy. It could be, eating that ice cream cone that you ate last night. It could be your dog just jumping up on you and licking your face. It could be the feeling of your grandchildren or your baby or your niece or your nephew laughing. It could be a beautiful song that you just heard. It could be the smell and the fragrance of a flower, or what the air feels like after it rains. We just take that moment and we feel that and we experience that. And all the energy in your body starts to change. So that if you are like frightened and worried about something, filled with anxiety, and you start to tune in that way, that knot of anxiety begins to just slowly open and unravel, and we have more space. And you see, that's one of the most beautiful ways that I can describe sound healing, is it creates more space in our lives. And when we work with sound and intention together, not only are we becoming entrained to a sense of more spaciousness in our lives, but we're actually slowly, whether we realize it or not, that sound of the crystal bowls, or that sound of the didgeridoo, or that sound of the drum is literally moving in and through our physical body, and all the molecules of our body are recalibrating, they're realigning, they're readjusting, they're coming together to bring us back in tune. And in tune with what is our original nature. And kind of, I love to say, our original divine blueprint and way of being. Because we are a symphony orchestra in our body of different cells and molecules and atoms and DNA. And every single one of them knows innately what it is to be in tune and in harmony with the entire organism that we call our physical form. And when we bring sound into this environment, we literally are saying to all of our cells, this, remember what it's like to be loved. Remember what it's like to be healthy. Remember what it's like to be kind. Remember what it's like to be an eternal, expanded being and a complete divine part of the universe. And that's what happens when we do sound healing. We literally are changing ourselves from the inside out through vibration. And we are reminding every part of us, and from the physical to the emotional to the mental to the spiritual, we are bringing that back into a harmonic alignment with the oneness of all that is.
Beautifully said. And I would like to add to that as well. About a month ago, I actually had a sound healing session. I was in a hotel. And I have some issues with my knee. I have some bad arthritis, actually. And my knee was quite swollen because I travel quite a bit. And after a 45-minute session, it was literally like magic. The swelling was gone, and for a good week, I did not have any issues. And it's just so interesting how it works. You know, I was like, oh my god, I don't need to take ibuprofen for the next week.
Because what happened was is you went into this state of deep, deep relaxation. And so that's the catalyst that happens with sound. All that alignment that's happening. We actually, the sound and vibrational frequencies move our brains. They shift our brains into different brainwave states, particularly into alpha, which is that kind of quiet alertness.
Yes.
Into theta, which is more like that dream state, that meditative state, and oftentimes into delta state as well, that deep, deep, deep sleep state where the deepest levels of healing occur, you know. And inside that state, the body relaxes, the body can now send energy freely to where it is needed, and then we emerge from that state. Oh, my knee is better. Oh, my headache is gone. Oh, which has happened many, many times in sound baths that I've had. Oh, you know, the illness that I had, you know, we've even had dramatic situations where people have passed tumors, or where people have passed blockages, or where people have, you know, shifted from a wheelchair to standing. You know, that kind of thing can, I'm not saying it always does, by a long shot, please don't misunderstand me, but that kind of thing can happen inside sound and vibrational, the context of a sound bath or a sound healing or a sound healing concert, right? So we also have the emotional issues, you know, oh, I was so worried about this, now I come out of this, now I see from a different perspective, my eyes are opened, I'm clear, I can see this in a fresh way. The way I need to talk to this person is this way. Oh, I'm on my soul's journey, or oh, I'm worried about my business, my career, my boss, my this. I come out of the sound bath, there's the answer to my question. It's right there, it was right in front of me. Remember, I said we live oftentimes so much in this state of contraction. Our thoughts, our suffering just keeps us in this one place. And the way I like to talk about sound healing is, if this is where we are, if this is where our mind is, our conditioned mind is right here in this small space, then we open up that space. Now we've stepped out of that initial circle and we've moved into another perspective. And you know, because the universe is eternal, and sound and vibrational healing just in some ways keeps going, going, going. So we step as far as this space, and then the next time, oh, it's this space, and now we're in this space. It's this never-ending possibility of expansion.
Exactly. And talking about expansion, another profound experience I had with Sambo was actually in Sedona many, many years ago, where you know, you have those tours in Sedona take you on the different vortexes, and the person to put the bowls on my body played them, and all I could hear was raging water through the whole journey. And at the end, you know, he said, "How did it go?" And I said, "Well, it went really well, but I felt like the river was going to take us." And he said, "What river?" There was a ravine just next to us, which used to be a river, but wasn't there. And I could literally just hear it. And it's just amazing how it helps you also tune in to the field, to the land, and to what was there before. And I don't know if you've experienced something like that as well.
Well, dancing in the multi-dimensional realms is something that happens to me all the time, you know, and so, and that is one of the other blessings and benefits of, you know, sound healing, sound vibrational healing, because it puts us into that deep meditative state, or that altered state where we actually tune in and can become aware of other multidimensional realities, you know. So the memory of the land now became alive to you. You know, it's the same thing where, oh, the memory, my awareness of the angelic beings, my awareness of, you know, other dimensional beings that work, or hearing the sounds of other worlds, you know. So all those things can open up, as I said, you know. It can be as simple as my headache is gone. You can also have these profound states where, you know, literally, you know, your mother who passed over the other side is now standing in front of you talking to you, you know. And in some ways these are very normal occurrences when I do sound baths or sound healing concerts for people. They'll come up to me and say, oh, I saw this and this. Oh, my mother. Oh, my so-and-so who just died. I heard their voice. I felt their touch. I did the, you know, we move into that state where those dimensions just, the veils just get pulled way, way back. So, and you don't have to go looking for that. I just want to really encourage people, you know, when you go into these places, don't go looking for that. Just go in, relax, and allow yourself to just float, and set your intention for whatever it is that is really on your heart, in your heart. You know, so if you're concerned about a health issue, then gently bring that there. And if you're concerned about a relationship issue, bring that there. If you want to do deep connection with your soul and your soul's guidance, bring that there. And then allow yourself to just like be soft with it and let it go. Follow your breath. Fall asleep. You know, I tell people all the time, I said, sleeping is good in a sound bath. If you find yourself falling asleep, that's awesome. I can't tell you how many times I've done these events, you know, big concerts in yoga festivals where, you know, there'll be hundreds of people in the audience for this after a long day of yoga. And literally, my husband and I have to go around, you know, after we pack up the bowls and all the equipment and everything is done, we're going around because people are snoring and they're sleeping. And then they wake up the next day and they say, you know, they'll say to us, that was the best sleep I've had in a really long time. So it's that nourishment of the body wherever it's needed. It's the nourishment of the soul wherever it's needed. And you'll receive the experience you need to receive.
Exactly. No, it's definitely restorative, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
And for those who might be wondering about singing bowls and not being, you know, very aware of them, I know you mentioned you started with 7, now you have 100 plus. What is the difference between each one of them? It sounds like they each have their own personality in a way, but just to understand a little bit about the bowls, how they work, and why 100 plus, you know, versus 7, for example, you know.
Well, you know, when I started out playing what we call classic frosted bowls, and at that time, they were pretty much the only kind of crystal singing bowls that existed. These are the white, heavy, and they're fairly heavy, mm-hmm. and they range in size from approximately 8 inches up into 24 inches. And these are 99.992% pure quartz crystal with a certain amount of impurities. They're fired in a kiln, in crucibles, in molds, usually graphite molds, and to form this crucible. And those particular kinds of bowls, the classic frosted bowls, at that time when they first started out, they were used to force, as crucibles, to force grow crystals for the semiconductor industry and for our national laboratories. And I happen to know this because when I was teaching music to young children, I was teaching my program in Los Alamos and that many of the families that I had were from Los Alamos National Laboratory in New Mexico. And they would tell me, they say, oh, I got one of those at work. You know, we use those, right? So that was my kind of eye opener. I was like, really, you did? This is like, you know, this is a crystal ball, and they had never ever seen anybody play it like that. It was really quite remarkable. So fast forward a few years, and what we began to have were what became called as alchemy bowls. And this happened because there was a lighter form of crystal bowl that was developed, which we call the ultralight clears and the ultralight frosteds. They look something like this one, except this one has the metal platinum on it, okay? And so it made a huge difference because now you have bowls that were just like, you know, literally weighed about 1/4 of a pound instead of, you know, 10 pounds, which makes a significant difference. And then what happened is that a company named Crystal Tones began infusing these ultralight clears and frosteds with precious gemstones, minerals, and metals. And so now what we have are beautiful bowls like this one, which is citrine, you know, the gemstone citrine. And here is this beautiful bowl, which is called ocean gold, and this is 24, I think it's 24 karat gold. It's the prismatic colors, pardon me, the prismatic colors of gold have been split out, and this is the turquoise ray of gold. So you can see the sheen of the gold sheen on it. And then we have, you know, it's one of my beautiful bowls. This is emerald, and this has platinum over the emerald. And then, you know, lots and lots and lots. And then we have, you know, this, it's hard to see this bowl, but because it's so big and it's so translucent. But this bowl is called a super grade, and this is 100% pure quartz crystal. And this is like the Rolls Royce of crystal singing bowls. It's very, very, the sound is very, very extraordinary. But all around this room, you know, rose quartz, diamond, titanium, different metals, topaz, and then blends of bowls that have multiple alchemies in it, you know, like this one here, which is called the Divine Mother Bowl, and we have, you know, ruby, kyanite, white gold alchemy, diamond, silver, and platinum, all blended into one beautiful bowl. And each one of these changes very subtly both the frequency of the bowl and, in no small way, kind of a little bit like the sound gets affected. And I'm talking super, 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 super subtle differences. But when you're playing in this world for a really long time, as I have been, you know, you start to be able to feel the differences between them. And so a ruby bowl feels really different than a diamond bowl. A citrine bowl feels very, very different than topaz. And then when you are working in sound and vibrational healing, or you're applying these, as I do so often, to a musical context, and you're bringing in different qualities of being, different energetics. You know, so if somebody was to say to me, oh, you know, I'm working through this and this and this particular issue, then as I'm sitting listening, you know, I will have a feeling of this particular alchemy will be really helpful. This particular alchemy will be really helpful here. But also it's important to understand it's not just about the alchemy, it's about the node of the bowl, it's about the size of the bowl. And first and foremost, it's the player that all of that is coming through. So it's just this mixture. So I tell all my clients and students, you know, they're like potato chips, you can't just have one, and they live in my ballroom and they propagate at night.
Love it. But no, this is very, because, you know, especially someone who may have just started coming to a room and seeing all the bowls, they may be wondering why. And it's great to understand, you know, how it works and why they're here.
Yeah, but that's also, you know, part of why I do what I do is when people just go, because it's overwhelming, you know, and they say to me, oh my God, this is so overwhelming. What do I choose? What's right for me? And that's why I've been working with people for 20 years to help them put the right bowls into their hands. You know, putting together sets, putting together, you know, particular bowls, and working with them one-on-one just to find, like, what is that rightness that is going to kind of awaken that little inside of you, that sort of frisson of joy that just opens up the space. And then it's in alignment with your energy.
Beautiful. So I know you're going to take the audience on a journey. So especially for those who have never experienced it, be in for a treat. And for those who have, definitely enjoy. I'm very excited. But before we do you have anything else you would like to add for the audience?
Yes, I want to share this with you. First, get your headphones. So put this on pause. Go and get your headphones. Put them in so that you have the best sound healing experience possible on Zoom, which I'll have to tell you, you're better off with a recording. But we do the very best we can to give you the best sound experience on Zoom. But, go ahead and grab your headphones. Make sure you do that. And find a comfortable place to sit or lie down. And just give yourself, turn off your phone and close the door and just give yourself a space. We'll be about 10 minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes. And I'll take you on a little journey.
Fantastic. I'll let you take it from there. Thank you.
All right. So once again, find a comfortable place to sit or lie down. And give yourself this time to rest and relax. And begin to feel your breath, breathing in and out. Softly and gently, as if your body is breathing itself. And now just allow yourself and feel your breath breathing in and out of your heart. Long, gentle breaths in your heart. And long, gentle breaths out of your heart. And imagine that you're looking at a person or a place that makes you feel so happy. And send that love beam from your heart towards them. Just feel that beautiful beam of Feel your body floating in space. There's no place to go. There's nothing to do. And feeling your breath one more time. Bring your awareness back into your heart. Back into your body. And gently wiggle your toes and your fingers. And feel yourself stretch. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
It's really beautiful. Thank you. Now I wrote a few words: peace, reverence, grace, and joy. So I'm a little teary-eyed. A lot of emotions came up, the good ones, a lot of joy actually. So thank you so much for this special treat.
You're welcome.
And I'm sure as well when you play, you must be also experiencing so much as well.
You know, it's the more I play, the more I just sit in those places.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm in this open awareness of my team and the etheric and the bowls and the vibration. So it's just, the longer I play, the more my own being is feeling all of that. And it's you know, it's pretty amazing to be sitting next to something like this, you know. It's just, it's like being with one of the whales, you know.
This is why I love sun healing, which is really the reason why I think it's an amazing tool on our soul purpose journey, because also opens so many layers of ourselves that we may not even be aware of. And you know, you just continue doing it and doing it. And I know that you have so many resources and meditation and song healing sessions on your YouTube, but also on Spotify, iTunes.
Oh my God, yeah, we have a huge Spotify channel with everything.
Oh, yes.
About to release, by the time this plays, we'll have released a brand new mantra, which is part of a project that I'm doing, that I've done, called Celestial Alignment for Healing.
Yep.
And it's we're releasing all the music of it first, and it's this combination, it's this amazing combination of very powerful dynamic mantra and this soft gentle sound healing and the guided meditation and affirmations and mind movies to help you shift in your mind perspective, and instrumental version, and 48 videos to help people go on their own self-guided sound healing journey. Because what I say to everybody is, you know, I want you to be able to do more than just the sound bath once a month or a couple times a month, and what happens in between. And how do you sustain and entrain those healing sounds for long periods of time, over bigger arcs of time? And so that's why I created this project. and the videos themselves are just like mind-blowingly wonderful. So we have music and videos and meditation and mantra, and it's like this one package. And the first song of it is coming out August 4th, and then we're releasing 5 songs of it, and then we'll release the course and everything, lyric videos and meditation videos. Is so beautiful. I'm super excited about it. And then of course we have everything. All my music is on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, YouTube, big YouTube channel, and we have the book,
Exactly.
Crystal Singing Bowls, the angelic sound of healing, relaxation, and spiritual awakening. And that book has all of the resources. You can come and study crystal ball mastery with me. You can have help finding your bowls. Oh, my husband's handing me.
Oh, fantastic.
Audience can see this amazing, beautiful. It's still a bestseller on Amazon. We released it in February. It is still a bestseller. The people from the sound healing community basically have told us that this is the book they were waiting for. So I'm super, super excited. I had one person write me the other day and say, I attended 1 year sound healing certification course, and I learned more from this book than I did in the year of that course. And that just blew me away, because I wrote this of my 25 years of experience, and I wanted to give people, that place to start playing crystal singing bowls. So beautiful resource available on Amazon, or you can get a beautiful personalized signed copy on my website. And then of course we are getting ready for retreats and possible concert tour over in Europe. So
Cannot wait to see you on this side of the pond in the UK,
yeah,
hopefully.
I know. We just got an invitation today. I hope that I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do.
Fantastic. And spread your love and beautiful, beautiful angelic voice around the world, because I know you're always with me, especially Om Tare is my favorite. But
Oh, I love that mantra. You're gonna love the new one. Oh my God, the Om Apadamapa, that is gonna like float your boat, I'm telling you. Yeah.
Well, I listened, I think, because you have an excerpt, right? On your
Yeah, we put another tiny teaser of it.
tiny one. So I listened to it, actually. It was already wow. But yeah, no, all of your songs are amazing. But I have to say, Om Tare, I don't know what it is with it. I especially love listening to it when I'm in the airport, walking in the airport for some reason. And the chaos of the airport just disappears. And I'm just in that space of just, Ashana.
That's bringing that frequency of the divine mother and the divine feminine, and Tara as protector. And so when we go into those public spaces and it's so chaotic and busy, and then we can create that little energetic bubble around us, through the chanting of the mantra and the sound. It's such a healing and support.
Definitely encourage everyone. And I know we'll also have a gift that you're giving to the audience as well. So
yes,
as well. And
yes, we're giving you an excerpt of a book, and we're giving you a short excerpt, a 4-minute excerpt of the new mantra, the Om Apadamapa from Celestial Alignment for Healing, and that is wonderful. So, go ahead and sign up, because it's going to be yummy, super yummy.
Exactly. So thank you so much, Ashana. This has been amazing. And, good luck on the beautiful journey that you're already on, but also all that is to come. I cannot wait to see all the magic that you'll keep continuing to bless us with.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So blessed to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.